The Xbox Series S has been officially announced. What is an Xbox S, you may ask? That's a good question. Let's get into it. Hey guys, Dev Warrior here, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be reacting to the Xbox Series S trailer. See, the Xbox Series X got its name from the Xbox One X, which was a more powerful version of the original Xbox One. But in addition to getting an Xbox One X, we also got an Xbox One S. So because we got an Xbox Series X based off of an Xbox One X, they also assumed that we would be getting an Xbox Series S based off of the Xbox One S. And yes, I know. How is your auntie or your grandma supposed to tell the difference between an Xbox Series X and an Xbox One X, or an Xbox Series S or an Xbox One S? They're just gonna say it's both the same. So you're gonna end up with a game for the Xbox Series S or Series X with an Xbox One X. How are you gonna play that kind of game? Earlier this week, the Xbox Series S rumors, as well as price leaks for all the new Xbox consoles, were all over the place. And I guess Xbox just got fed up and were like, screw it, let's just reveal this console. And that's exactly what they did. So today, I'm gonna be checking out this console and see if it does Xbox any good for the tough spot they're in right now. Alright, so let's pull up this trailer. Come on, Xbox. Hope this time they give us a price, because they be tripping recently. Is that milk? Performance. Oh, yo, that fan is big. The smallest Xbox. Whoa, that's a speed. Incredibly fast load time. Game switching. Performance. All digital. That's like the sad Xbox S. Man, the controller still looks. Controller's still sad. Is that Halo? We don't got Halo yet. See, the fan's so big, even Xbox knows it. Alright, yo. I'm not gonna lie, this Xbox actually looks pretty cool. I'm surprised that they went for a design that looked really nice, because this looks like the previous Xbox that they've had, where it's kind of flat. It's not really tall, whereas the Xbox X, you know, it was literally just a box. This one really had I think this design looks really cool. Sadly, the controller, they didn't do nothing to the controller, although I really like how it's white. I don't know if you can get a black version, or if it's just like this is just white, because you probably know that white doesn't have the greatest track record of keeping clean, and doesn't have the best aging. It turns yellow after a while and stuff like that. So I don't know if they're gonna make a black version of this, or is it just white. And yeah, 120 FPS. That's pretty impressive for something that's so small. Well, I will say that the fan is really, really big. I guess that's like some sort of vent. And you know, the vent on previous Xboxes have been like they've been kind of big, I guess, but they haven't really it's kind of integrated in a way where you don't really notice that it's a fan. Like the previous Xboxes, half of it have had vents on it, but it's like it matches with the color scheme. This one's just a big black fan, and it kind of really sticks out. But yeah, that's interesting. And also, it doesn't have a disc drive, so it's kind of like the PS5 All Digital Edition from what I'm seeing right now, except it's a lot smaller than the Xbox X. But let's see what else we got here. Ultra low latency, 4K media playback, 4K ups. Okay, so I see there's only one thing I can really see right now is that the Xbox Series S seems to only be 1440p, which is like 2K, I think. So I guess if you really care about 4K, you'd probably get like an Xbox X. That's interesting. I'm not gonna lie, it's not that impressive. I feel like when I saw the PS5, I thought it was really impressive because the design looked really cool. And I think that Xbox isn't really going for the looks anymore. They're more going for the functionality. And I mean, the functions seem pretty good. It has a big fan, so I'm assuming that we're gonna be getting very good FPS, very good performance because of how big the fan is. At the same time, it just doesn't look too great. When you look at a console and you're reacting to a console, you kind of want to be like, whoa. But I just don't feel this way with the Xbox Series S. And why is there milk everywhere in the trailer? It seems like they're really obsessed with milk. I mean, I know this is a white console, but like, dang, Xbox, they like your milk. And you got 4K streaming and media playback, which is kind of confusing because if your console is going to be in 2K, how is it going to be recorded in 4K? It's like, what? And then it has 4K upscaling. I don't know what that means. Maybe they just make the pixels bigger and pretend it's 4K. I don't know at this point, Xbox. And another thing I noticed, obviously it doesn't have the disc slot and anything like that. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the Xbox Series S Digital Edition. I remember how many people made fun of this and made memes about it. A lot of people called it the sad Xbox. This is what this one reminds me of. So, yes, that is the trailer. I don't know why Xbox tries to make such short trailers. Maybe that's just their thing, but their trailers have always been really, really short. I'm also surprised that they haven't given us a price yet. I don't know if they're planning on giving us one in the future because they've already announced 2 consoles for this next gen, and they're all going to be coming out in 1 month. And how come we still don't have a price yet? And yeah, right now, I mean, I'm impressed with all the functions it has. Pretty impressive, but I still think that PS5 is winning. And I mean, the Xbox Series X is definitely a game changer. The Xbox Series S, it changes a lot of things, especially assuming that it's cheaper, so then people could buy this one. And I mean, if you have a 1080p monitor or a 2K monitor, then if you don't have a 4K, then getting a 4K console won't really matter to you because you won't be able to see that it's actually in 4K. So if you buy the Xbox Series X, the only thing I can really see that has an advantage is 4K, and also it's disc slot. But if you're a digital gamer, and which most people are, so if you're just a digital gamer, you just buy your games digitally, and you play on like a 2K monitor or a 1080p monitor, then I don't think the Xbox Series X will really matter to you for that higher price point, which kind of gives Xbox an edge. So after watching the trailer, I found out a few things. One is that the Xbox X is going to be going for about $500, and the Xbox Series S is going to be going for $299, which is the price of, a Nintendo Switch. Pretty cheap. And I think that this could really make like a good console experience. This could really change people's minds about the PS5. Because I'm not gonna lie, before I wasn't really impressed with what Xbox was doing. The Xbox Series X looked like a trash can. They didn't really have any other consoles. The xCloud was only available on Android, not iOS. I mean, Xbox was definitely in a tough spot, but I feel like the Xbox Series S really changes things. One, like I was saying earlier, if you just care about the digital experience, you don't really care about the physical experience, and you don't really have, 4K TVs or monitors, you're just going to be watching them in 2K or something like that, it's not really going to matter if you have a 4K console or not. Also, I'm gonna say that the PS5 All Digital Edition is gonna be has been estimated to be around $399, whereas the Xbox Series S is $299. So this is a quite a big price difference, I will say, from the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S, because the Xbox Series X is supposed to be $500 and the Xbox Series S is supposed to be $300. Now I think that extra $100 is because it lacks 4K. You know, it's 2K. So I feel like if you're just gonna play in 2K and you're just gonna play digital games, I feel like Xbox is gonna be the better option for you, because PS5's option, you can only get a 4K digital PS5. So you're gonna have to pay the extra money to get that 4K that you're not even gonna be watching things in. But then speaking of the digital games, I mean, the only issue will be is that Xbox don't got no games. Xbox doesn't really have any exclusives right now. So, I mean, the exclusives are the only thing I think that are holding Xbox back right now. If Xbox had good games like Spider-Man, PS5, Ratchet and Clank, like a bunch of other titles that we all know are going to be on the PS5, and I feel like if it had those games, if it had nice exclusives, they would be on top right now. Like if Halo Infinite didn't get delayed, I think I would be picking Xbox. Xbox did have a lot of exclusives at launch when we first saw it. It was like, yeah, Xbox has some pretty good games. They have, they got the Halo Infinite. They got a Marvel Avengers, but the Marvel Avengers isn't like some of the games on the Xbox Series X aren't exclusive. You can get them on the PS5, and sometimes they're better. Like on the PS5, if you play the Avengers game, you can play it and have Spider-Man in the game. Whereas on the Xbox, you can't have Spider-Man on the game when you're playing Marvel Avengers. So as for games, Xbox could have been winning if it weren't for all of the issues with their games. As for games, PS5 is probably where it's at right now. And I mean, if you're just there for the games at launch, then you're probably gonna be going with PS5. But if you're patient and you just want to wait a little bit, Halo Infinite is only gonna be out in like a year. It's not gonna be too long, and next year is just around the corner as well. So you probably only be waiting a couple of months before you get to start playing some Halo Infinite. So I feel like if you just want to wait a little bit, be patient, and you only care about that digital experience, not in 4K, you don't really care about 4K, then I feel like the Xbox actually might be where you want to go. As long as you're okay with that big hole, that big black circle in your Xbox. But yeah, but that was just what I thought about the Xbox Series S and a little bit of how I thought it stacked up to the PS5. I know I didn't get too in depth into that, so if you want to see me do a full comparison on the two consoles, let me know down in the comments below. And on your way down there, don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. But until then, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.